We are connected. Yes, can you hear me? Good. Excellent. Right, so last week, who can remember last week? It was great fun, wasn't it, last week? And what was Shirley talking about? Do you remember? Moses. And what had happened to Moses? Where had they got to in the story? Do you remember?
The Red Sea.
The Red Sea. They got to the Red Sea. And can you remember that the sea parted and they walked through?
He's Dumbledore.
And they walked through. But then what happened? What happened to the people that were following them? Who was following them? Anybody else know? The Egyptians. The Egyptians. And what happened to the Egyptians? The water came back, didn't it? The water came back, it covered them all over, and they were no more. So, what we're going to think about today is what happened to Moses and all those, nearly fell off the stage. What happened to Moses and all those thousands of people that were with him on the other side of the sea? All right, you've got to picture that. They're on the other side of the sea. What are they going to do? Well, first of all, I should think they were pretty shocked. Wouldn't you have been shocked? You get to the sea. We spent 6 weeks looking at the sea, just to make you jealous. We spent 6 weeks. They looked at the sea, and it parted, and they walked through. And then it all closed in again, and the people that were following, the people that they were scared of, they were gone. So they're on the other side of the sea. So they had to set off on a journey. It was quite a long journey. It was a journey to the land that God had promised them a long time ago. And a land where they were going to be safe and they were going to be secure and they weren't going to be slaves anymore. They were free and ready to go into this new land. So here they are at the start of their journey. Now, they'd just fled slavery, hadn't they? They'd been slaves. So I don't imagine they had a lot of time to prepare for this journey, or they had a lot of things that they could prepare for this journey. But what if we're going on a journey? Any of the children here think about, what if we were going on a journey, a long walk or a camping hike or something like that? What would we need to take?
Probably a tent if you were staying overnight, some gear.
Yeah.
Maybe like mosquito repellent.
Mosquito repellent. This guy's got it made. Any of the children like to come down and help me with this? Come on, what about those? Yeah. Do you want to come and help me? I know you will, my darling. Right. So, what we need first of all is, what's this? A backpack, a rucksack. Right? Come on, Ken. Here we go. This is my glamorous assistant today. Okay. Come and sit on the stage. Right. Would you like to look in this box and find one thing that needs to go in the backpack? What would you pick something out of there? Oh, I thought you might go for that. Put it in. We'll have to show everybody first. Let's lift it right up high. A cuddly toy. Put him in the backpack. Lovely, because you need someone to cuddle when you're on a journey. What about you, Isaiah? Find one of those. What do you think about it? Hydration, yes. We need water. Put water in there.
I would become a stick if I...
Well, you would become a stick. Right, you come and see. You take one thing out of the box. Show everybody what it is. A book. I can't go anywhere without a book. You have to have a book to read, don't you, if you've gone on a journey? Put it in the backpack, ready. We need that on our journey. What about you? What do you find in the box? Hold it up high for people to see. It's a map. We need a map, don't we, to know where we're going. Brilliant. Put it in the backpack. Lovely. Oh, you're getting ready here, Ken. Here comes Alea. Right, Alea, find us something in the box. What do you think? Can you reach with your broken arm? Oh, what's this? What is it? It's a lunchbox. You need food, don't you, when you're on a journey? It's got all sorts in there. Right. I don't know they're going for 40 years when they set off. Right. What else have we got in here? Last one. Would you like to take this last one out? Can you lift it up high? Ah, flask. Yes, we need our flask, don't we? Okay, that's brilliant. Thank you very much. Right, Ken, I think you're off. We're off on your journey. Off you go. Thank you. That's brilliant. You can take your backpack off now. Years ago, many years ago, Ken and I went on a journey. We walked from Plymouth to Land's End.
I do not know where Land's End is.
Well, I'll tell you where Land's End is. It's right at the very, very end of England. Plymouth to Land's End. We walked 110 miles in 10 days. We should have done more than that, but the weather was so bad every single day that we cut off the Lizard Peninsula, mainly because we couldn't see it because the mist was so bad. So we cut off the Lizard, but apart from that, we did the whole coast. So we walked for 110 miles in 10 days. Now, in preparation for that walk, we had to take a lot of things. We had to take food and a tent and sleeping bags, and we had to take pans, and we had to take a stove, and we took absolutely everything that we needed. Bear in mind, 50 years ago, they weren't lightweight, nice things that you could put on your back. This was heavy. Heavy, I'm talking heavy. And a wet tent in the morning, when you pack it up, put it in your backpack, it's heavy, believe me. Well, Moses and all those people, they didn't have all this preparation. They didn't have backpacks and rucksacks and flasks and picnics. They didn't have any of that. They just left with very little, and there were a lot of them. So not long after they set off, they were thirsty. You would be thirsty, wouldn't you, when you set off on a journey? And they started to moan and grumble. Exodus 15, 22 to 25.
Then Moses led Israel from the Red Sea, and they went into the desert of Shur. For 3 days they travelled in the desert without finding water. When they came back to Marah, they could not drink its waters, because it was bitter. That's why the place is called Marah. So the people grumbled against Moses, saying, "What are we to drink?" Then Moses cried out to the Lord, and the Lord showed him a piece of wood. He threw it into the water, and the water became fit to drink.
So God provided them with water to drink. That's essential, isn't it? Water to drink. They didn't have any. They were desperate, so God gave them some. After that, they set off again, and they were hungry. They moaned, and they grumbled. So much so that they said to Moses, they started to say, well, we'd have been better off as slaves. At least then we could eat. Exodus 16, 2 to 3.
In the desert, the whole community grumbled against Moses and Aaron. The Israelites said to them, "If only we had died by the Lord's hand in Egypt. There we sat around pots of meat and ate all the food we wanted. But you've brought us out into this desert to starve this entire assembly to death."
They grumbled a lot. But God heard their grumbling, and he could see their need. And what does it say in verse 11?
The Lord said to Moses, "I've heard the grumbling of the Israelites. Tell them, at twilight you will eat meat, and in the morning you will be filled with bread. Then you will know that I am the Lord your God."
Wow. They had nothing to eat. And they were walking through this desert land. And God said, "I'll give you food to eat." And do you know what he did? In the evening, the ground was full of birds, quail. Be a bit like chicken, children, if you know, be all right. So there's little birds, they might not want to eat them. But chicken, when you're hungry, can't beat a bit of chicken. chicken in the evening. And then in the morning, this is what was really weird, in the morning, the ground was covered in this white, flaky stuff. They must have looked at it and thought, what? They called it manna. And you know, that white, flaky stuff, when they ate it, it tells us in the Bible that it tasted like, let me read what it says. It was white like coriander seed, and it tasted like wafers with honey. Not bad. So this was their bread. This they had to collect every morning. But they were told, you only collect in the morning what you need for the day. Don't collect more and try and store it. Do you know what happened when they tried to store it? Do you know this bit of the story? Got maggots.
Exploded.
Didn't explode, it got maggots. That's worse than exploded. Maggots. The only day they were allowed to collect more than for the day was the day before the Sabbath. Because on the Sabbath, that was a day of rest. They weren't allowed to do anything. So on the day before, they were allowed to get double the portion, and they could keep that for the next day. So God fed them this manna from heaven, and it actually went on for 40 years. But, do you know, the people still moaned. They were thirsty again. Exodus 17.
But the people were thirsty for water there, and they grumbled against Moses. They said, why did you bring us out of Egypt to make us and our children and livestock die of thirst? Then Moses cried out to the Lord, what am I going to do with these people? They're almost ready to stone me. The Lord answered Moses, go out in front of the people, take with you some of the elders of Israel, and take in your hand the staff with which you struck the Nile, and go. I will stand there before you by the rock at Horeb. Strike the rock, and water will come out for the people to drink.
Wow. Do you remember this? This was Moses' staff, wasn't it, last week? John, our wonderful Moses. This was his staff, his stick. God told him, just take it, hit that rock with it, and water will come out. And it did. It did, fresh water for them to drink. So he was providing them with food every day, and he was providing them with water. Even though they disobeyed him, even though they moaned, even though they grumbled, even though they were fed up, they were so fed up with Moses, they were just about to stone him to death. Even though all of that, God provided them with water. He provided them with what they needed. When things aren't going our way, when things are tough, and we know we all have tough days, don't we? When things are just going against us, and we grumble and we moan, and we can even blame God, or we can ignore him altogether. Even through all of that, God will provide. God will be with you. God will give you the things that you need. When we're unhappy or we're sad, when things are tough, life feels rubbish, the truth is that God is still there with us. He's in there with us. He's in it. Ken's going to read a poem that many of you will have known for years, but maybe for some of you it's a new thing and you've never heard it before, and I just think it fits so perfectly.
One night, a man had a dream. He dreamed he was walking along the beach with the Lord. Across the sky flashed scenes from his life. For each scene, he noticed 2 sets of footprints in the sand, one belonging to him, the other to the Lord. When the last scene of his life flashed before him, he looked back at the footprints in the sand. He noticed that many times along the path of his life, there was only one set of footprints. He also noticed that it happened at the very lowest and saddest times in his life. This really bothered him, and he questioned the Lord about it. "Lord," he said, "that once I decided to follow you, you'd walk with me all the way. But I've noticed that during the most troublesome times in my life, there is only one set of footprints. I don't understand why when I needed you most, you would leave me." The Lord replied, "My son, my precious child, I love you and I would never leave you. During your times of trial and suffering, when you see only one set of footprints, it was then that I carried you."
So on those days when life is tough, on those days that it's just a bit too hard to bear, that's when God carries us. He's there with us. He's in it with us. And he'll carry us through. So there was these people on a long journey. Has anybody here been on a long journey? Yeah, where have you been? Anywhere special?
Bikes a lot of places.
Yeah, long bike rides.
Shaftesbury, then Windle before that.
Good. Good bit of cycling. Yeah.
Manchester.
You didn't cycle to Manchester. No. Did you go on a train? You drove. That's a long way. That's a long journey. Have you ever sat in a car and you're thinking, you didn't daren't say it, "Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we nearly there yet?" That's you, is it? I can imagine, Isaac. I can imagine. That's you.
Yeah, I'm literally
Are we there yet?
like 5 seconds later. We're there.
I know, that's what
I'm
happens.
just repeating it the whole entire time.
So, some journeys can be really long. And some journeys we can measure in distance, can't we? We can say it's so many miles. And in other journeys we measure it in time. We can say, oh, well, I walked for half an hour. So some we measure in distance, some we can measure in time. Well, Moses' journey, it should have only taken them 11 days. How long did it take them? 40 years. Let me just judge that. 11 days, 40 years. We'll look at why in a bit. We're going to do a little quiz. Okay. First one, Andrew. How long would it take to walk from Blandford to Bournemouth? Would it take 5 hours? Do you think it's higher than that or lower? Higher? Is that... Come on, let's have a bit of energy here. Is it higher? Higher. Okay, let's have a look. How long would it take? 6 hours and a half. 6.5 hours. I've never done it, but I take somebody's word. The next one. How far is it from Blandford to Buckingham Palace? Is it 99 miles? What do you think? You think it's higher? Higher or lower? Higher. Who's saying lower? No, higher. You think it's lower? I think most people say it's higher. What do we think? Yes, 110 miles. How far from Blandford to the Red Sea? Now that's a good one. How far?
I don't even know where the Red Sea is.
Well, you need to look at a map. 4,200 miles. What do you reckon? Higher or lower? What do you think?
Higher.
Higher? What do you think? Higher or lower? Lower? Oh, a bit mixed, you know, not sure here. Let's have a look. How far? 3,400, so it was lower. How long to walk, this is in time, how long to walk from Land's End to John O'Groats? That's right from the very, very bottom of Britain to right to the very, very top of Scotland. What do you think? Let's have a look. A month? Would it take you a month? Higher or lower? Higher. Higher. Let's have a look. Yes. 2 to 3 months. That's quite a long time, isn't it? Next one. How far is it around the Earth? Is it 22,400 miles? Right round the circumference of the Earth. You've done this in school, anybody? Higher or lower?
The globe and nothing else.
No. Needs a little fact in life. Higher or lower? Higher? Higher. Let's have a look. Yes. Not a lot higher. A little bit higher.
I'm using the power of the
Okay, last one. How far is it from the Earth to the Moon? Is it 264,000 miles? What do you think? I don't think anyone knows this one. Do you think it's higher or lower? Higher? Let's have a look. No, it's lower. Still quite a long way though, isn't it? 238,855 miles. Who measured it? Who measured that? Anyway, so we can measure distances between one place and another, can't we? And we can see how far it is and how long it's going to take us to get there. Well, Moses and all those people, their journey should have been 11 days. They just had 11 days. I know how far that is. We walked it. You can do that. It's not bad, 11 days. But they ended up getting to the promised land 40 years later. And none of those who set off actually got there. None of them. A whole generation later, they actually entered the land that they were heading for. Why? Well, as we've seen in the book of Exodus, and as there's more, if you want to read it, the people moaned, and they grumbled, and they disobeyed God, and they lost their faith in him. They became selfish and thoughtless of others. So they had this long time in the wilderness, a whole generation wandering about in the wilderness. Sometimes it's a phrase we use, isn't it? We talk of being in the wilderness. You might not as children, but as adults, I bet we all know what that feels like, to be in the wilderness. We feel a long way from God. We feel we don't know where we're going or what we're doing, or we just feel a bit lost. And it all feels a bit like a desert experience. Could be that we've got a lack of faith. We don't trust God anymore. It could be that we're being disobedient. We're doing the wrong thing. We're doing things that we know God wouldn't want us to do. Could be that we're being selfish or thoughtless of others. We're not thinking about other people, we're just thinking about ourselves. We want things our way. We want to do the things that we want to do. We're not caring about other people. All of those things and more can cause a wilderness experience. But what can we do to get out of the wilderness? What can we do to break out of that feeling? Turn back to God. Turn back to God. Ask him for forgiveness for anything that you've done wrong. Ask him to turn you around and to give you the strength to do the right things, the things that you know he would want you to do. Ask him and he'll give you the strength. Spend time talking to God in prayer, reading the Bible, getting to know God a little bit better. Get a better relationship with God, one where you can talk to him every moment of the day, where you know he's there with you, when you know he's carrying you in the bad times. Get that sort of relationship with God. And then you know he can be trusted. Then you know he'll provide for you. Then you know he'll always be there for you. Then you know who God really is, that he's with you and he'll help you in any situation. And whatever you find as you go through life, however young you are today, know God is with you. Let's pray. Lord, you tell us so clearly in this passage of time of what happened to the Israelites, you tell us so clearly that you provide. You provide for us the things that we really need. You tell us so clearly that you're with us. You don't leave us. You're with us through it all. And Lord, I pray that our journey through life, each and every one of us, our journey through life would be a good one. One where we know you're with us, where we can turn to you like we would turn to a friend and ask for help. Know your comfort. Know your strengthening. Lord, however young we are today, I pray that we would go from here knowing we have a God who cares about us, who loves us, who wants to be our closest companion. Thank you, Lord.